So hey guys, today we're going to be talking about a garbage potential FTK. So today we're taking a look at the card Rebirth of the Seventh Emperors. So as the fact of tribute all XYZ monsters you control, then target one of your banished XYZ monsters, special summon it, then you can attach your number XYZ monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard to it as material that have a number between 101 and 107 in their name, up to the number of monsters attributed to activate this effect plus 1. During the end phase of the turn you activate this card, each player takes 300 damage for each card in their hand. So, quite a few things to note about this card. So first things first, if we look at the part right here, this effect here is technically occurring where cost occurs. So target one of your Vanish XYZ monsters. So you cannot roll back this because of how the effect resolves. It's impossible to roll back this. Just going to say that first off. Next thing, there is actually no once per turn on this card at all. So technically, if I were to resolve this card, we'll say, I don't know, 29 times, then if our opponent has one card in their hand, then they'll lose. But also, this burns both players, so maybe there's a way we could transfer our burn damage to our opponent. That would make this a little bit easier to resolve, I suppose. But okay. Next thing, that this effect requires you to tribute every single XYZ monster you control. And then you have to target specifically a banished XYZ monster. So no idea how that monster got there, but yeah, if you have a banished XYZ monster, then you have a banished XYZ monster, I guess. So you special summon the banished XYZ monster, then it is optional attach a number XYZ monster that meets these conditions. And up to the number of monsters distributed to activate this effect plus 1. That's how many you can attach, I guess. And then during the turn you activate this card, each player takes 300 damage for each card in their hand. So the jank part is not accidentally FTKing yourself, I suppose. There is that being kind of problematic. But because of how this card works, I'm thinking you might be able to do something with like a Primal Seed loop, because it just has to be a banished XYZ monster. Not 100% sure how this sequentially works. Like, can I tribute the same XYZ monster and then just special summon it in the same chain? Do I need a second XYZ monster to do this? I guess the order here is specifically it will tribute the guy, so assuming we have like a macro type effect, we can tribute it because it specifically tributes and does not send to the graveyard, I guess. Then that card will be banished, and since it's banished, I should be able to target it as one of my banished XYZ monsters, special summon it, and then optional to attach, so I can just not attach, and then that just resolves Rebirth of the Seventh Emperors. And then during the end phase of the turn, it'll do the burn thing. I guess. So let's do just some quick maths now. If we have 300 here, then we can multiply this by, I guess we'll go with 5. That'll be 1,500 burn, I guess. So how many times do we have to activate Rebirth of the Seventh Emperors if our opponent has just the 5 cards that you normally open with? I guess that'd be, well, what was that, like 6 activations? Is it? So yeah, it's like 6 activations of this card. So it's like 3k, 6k, 9k. So yeah, it's going to take 6 activations of this. So that would be like having all 3 copies of this set, activating all of them, somehow resetting them, then activating them again. And that would work, I guess. So you have to activate this card 6 times, and your opponent has to have absolutely no response to what you're doing. So FT King with this, kinda dumb, I guess. But if you activate this too many times, then you threaten kind of like burning yourself for game. And then there's also the added complexity of how do you activate a normal trap this many times on the first turn when you're not even allowed like a rollback. And if you did do a rollback, that would halve your life points, putting you closer to getting FTK'd by this card. I don't know. Maybe you could just make it a draw and make both players draw like essentially their entire deck, and then finishing off both players with the Seventh Emperors or something. Can't think of like a really good use case for this card, honestly. Well, let's see. Why would I have a banished XYZ monster? Can't think of a reason. And then distributes all XYZ monsters you control. And then special summons the banished XYZ monster. I mean, in Kashtira, this is technically at least playable because you could have theoretically a banished Rise Heart. Only kinda, because it requires you to have a second macro card aside from a Rise Heart, so it does get banished sometimes. Or I guess you can technically banish it with like Tear Cash and then tribute Shangri-Ira. I suppose. Be boarding a Rise Heart, kinda. So yeah. General use cases? Can't really think of any. I think there might be a rank up that banishes like an XYZ monster or something. That must be why this card exists like this. Otherwise, it makes no goddamn sense. So, yeah. Rebirth of the Seventh Emperors. This could be used to make a funny FTK, I guess. That's about it. So, yeah. That's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.